Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about good debt versus bad debt. If you don't know me, welcome to the channel. My name is Mauricio. I have launched and scaled over 25 businesses in the past 12 years, and I've also sold some of those businesses. And the point of this channel is just to share my experience, my journey with you guys. Hopefully, it can help you, inspire you through your own journey, whether you're an entrepreneur, you just want some information about business, or you just love business numbers. Hopefully this channel, can help you out, give you some insights and tips, etc. So let's get started with today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about good debt versus bad debt. Now, I wanted to make this video because I personally was scared of debt in the beginning of my business journey, entrepreneurship journey. And I had this sense of pride about not taking on debt and just doing everything by myself with my own money saving up, right? So I also had that. I feel like I had that in my mind because I wasn't able to get credit cards until I was 21. And the reason for that, and I'm gonna disclose that just in case, some of you guys may be wondering why couldn't you get a credit card? And the reason why is because I didn't have a social security number. I came to this country when I was 11. I overstayed. Now I'm under the DREAM Act, which is a work permit. Long story short, I got my social security number when I was 21. So before that, I was able to pay taxes, but I wasn't able to get a license, build credit, do anything else like that. I didn't have a social, so I couldn't do any of those things. So that's also part of the reason why I decided to start a business, which is, part of my story, but today we're not gonna get too much into that. But I just wanted to give you guys some insight on why I didn't take on debt in the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, because I kind of had it in the back of my head, that I couldn't take on debt anyway. So since I can't take on debt, I have to build everything without debt. So in the beginning, and I carried that on until I was about 22, 23 years old, because by the time that I was able to get credit lines and credit cards and all that, I had already built a business and it was doing okay by that time, which I thought, why take on debt when I could pay for these things by myself? Now, that's just a little bit of background of my journey in the beginning, that I was against debt. Now, once I started doing more business and, just got a lot more experience in the field of just numbers, money, business, it definitely changed. So the way I want to explain it is, debt is like a knife, right? You can either use it for something useful and that's going to benefit you, or you could use it to hurt yourself, kill somebody else. You could basically use it to hurt you a lot, right? So don't blame the knife, blame yourself, right? You can use credit, debt, for whatever you want. So it's your choice to make the right choice. Now we're gonna go into some examples of good debt, some examples of bad debt, and I'll also explain my view on some of them, because this is what the actual definition is, right? Good debt is anything that's gonna help you or benefit your wealth, or is gonna increase your wealth, benefit your lifestyle, but mostly increase your wealth. If you use debt to increase your wealth, it's good debt. If you use credit to hurt your lifestyle or your wealth, it's bad debt, right? Now that seems like a very simple explanation, but some people don't know the difference. Some people just think that debt is always bad. Or some people might think that debt is always good. And no, debt is not always good, but at the same time, debt is not always bad, right? So it's really up to you what you do with the debt. Now I'll give you some examples of good debt and bad debt. So a lot of people would say a mortgage is good debt. School loans is good debt. Any personal investment, business investment, any sort of investment in general, like business startup or investment is going to be good debt. Now, I'm going to go ahead and disagree a little bit on some of those. For example, student loans, I don't think is the best debt you can take on. Why? Because if I tell you that you're going to be in debt, right, for 4 years, you're going to take on debt of, let's say, $100,000, and can't guarantee you a return until, let's say, it's year number 6, and the only return is $50,000 per year, but you have to work full time. If I didn't tell you what the investment is, you would tell me I'm crazy. Well, that's what school is. So you take on debt. Yes, the benefit is you do acquire knowledge, you do acquire a degree, which, we're not going to talk about what that's worth now, but you have to ask yourself that question. How much is it worth to you, right? So I'm going to leave that as part of, the good debt. Now, bad debt. What is bad debt? Or some examples of bad debt. Car loan could be an example of bad debt. If you just get a nice car just because you're able to afford it, with your credit. Another example of bad debt is, taking on credit cards to go shopping or go on a vacation or buy yourself, like designer shoes, designer clothes. That's bad debt. Buying things that you can't afford with credit is bad debt. Taking on a high interest loan for a low interest investment opportunity, that's bad debt, right? Best example, if you take out a merchant loan that is giving you 40% APR, which they're out there, a lot of them actually are around that. That's normal for a merchant loan, 40% APR. And the investment that you're looking to make is only going to make you 20% return on your money. That's bad debt. You shouldn't make that. You shouldn't go in debt to do that. So again, it's really up to you. The point of this video is that it really is up to you to decide what good debt is for you. If you're getting a house for yourself, mortgage, and you're taking on a mortgage debt for a house, you got to look at the benefits and, like the pros and cons. So the benefits obviously are going to be that you're comfortable. You can't really put a price on that, Just make sure you can afford the house, but you're going to have a lot of benefits. Being comfortable in your house is a very good added benefit. And that's probably what I think is the best return for that. Aside from the fact that people think, if you actually get a good deal, you can build equity. Of course, that could be a good added benefit down the road. But the truth is sometimes you're not going to get that equity unless you rehab the house for another 5-10 years. And who knows, depending on how the market is. But the one thing that you know is that you're going to be happy, you're going to be more comfortable, and that change of lifestyle can affect your mood, that can affect your life, that can actually, just that alone could bring you to another level, even financially. So that alone could be a good investment. Therefore, that would be taking on good debt. So I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but my point is something that makes sense for one person doesn't necessarily mean that it makes sense for another person, right? Just because one person invests in businesses, like myself, for example, all my money, all the time, I put it into my businesses, I put it into new businesses. So, but that's for me, and it's been working out pretty good for me. But for other people, making a business investment might be a bad decision because they're good at something else. Like if you're good at real estate and then you just want to go into business, opening up a bagel shop, and you take on debt to run a bagel shop when what you do is real estate, that's going to be bad debt. Unless you got people to help you, unless you really learn about it, and then your lifestyle is going to go crazy. You're going to start just driving yourself crazy. So I hope you guys are following what I'm saying, that it really is up to you. And the best analogy that I could think about is, like I said, think about it as a knife. You can use a knife to cook, cut the meat, cut the fruits, cut the vegetables, or you could use it to cut your hand and bleed out. I hope that's not too dramatic for you guys. I hope you guys get the point. But yeah, that is what I think of good debt, bad debt. You know, anything that's gonna make you money, that you know it goes in hand with whatever you do, whatever you know, and that's gonna make your lifestyle better, build wealth, is good debt. Bad debt, anything that's gonna, depreciate your cash flow, it's gonna affect your wealth. Of course, that's bad debt. But again, it's up to you. You decide. Debt is neither all good or all bad. It's up to you what you do with that debt. So again, the best thing you could do is get informed, get educated, and see what best fits you, right? And your lifestyle. I hope all that made sense. Thank you guys that you stayed throughout this whole video. Hope you guys found it informational. And I will see you guys on the next video.